5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban. OG's turn to ban. Alliances turn to ban.
The next label play.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Alliances turn to pick.
Keeper of the light.
OG's turn to pick.
Earth Shaker.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We have ourselves a draft between Alliance and OG. On one side, OG so far with 2 victories on the board, and on the other side, Alliance without a victory on the board. And this series, they are so important, and Alliance really wants to make it into that top 4, and they need to take series off of one of these teams in the upper echelon at the moment, and OG is one of those teams. We're joined by Purge on the big screen. I got Kyle and Moxie. We're in the draft, actually. We're already 2 picks in. Purge, I'm gonna let you go first. We got the openings with the Shaker and the Puck and the Coddle and the Pango. What are you thinking?
All right, so all the good counter push heroes. You know, these are both beneficial for both teams because you can slow down your opponent's game by delaying the time that it takes for your tier 1 tower to die. So both teams will be able to have some solutions there, some good team fight, obviously. The Pegos maybe the most surprising to me, I guess, as the pick here, because it's a little early and they get to pick the counter pick on the puck, but you know, you play around it, so it's not super bad.
It's deceivingly similar to an opener we saw a couple hours ago. Wonder if that was prepped, if that's something they've gotten from scrimming each other, or if they just saw it in the match and wanted to use it. Whereas OG, massive amounts of team fight, global mobility, wave clear. Big fan. They also ban out the bat, which kind of makes sense. We've been teasing Alliance for picking it 3 consecutive games, but Nigma did beat it with arguably the best Slark in the world twice. If you're not comfortable with it, might not be something you want to do yourself.
And maybe they protected them from themselves, you know.
Well, Lib's also a beast on bat.
Alliances turn to ban.
Maybe Topson just really didn't want to play Slark. Nah,
the other reason they picked up the other reason they picked up the Slark, right, was because of the fact they were picking Wraith King every single game. To counter, they get all those.
10 seconds remaining.
That is just annoying now, and he's really fine leaving it in the pool if you know someone's very comfortable with it.
OG are also arguably one of the greediest macro teams in Dota. Like, they're always playing like all the lanes. They're running at you. They keep running at you.
Yep, I think Purge said that one of the things is don't panic when OG comes with crazy stuff. Do you consider Pangolier in the first 2 to be something that Alliance should panic or should worry about, should counter in their draft, or you feel like Puck already is doing that by himself, herself? It's
No, I don't think, like, if it's like a, I mean, Pango's already been pretty flexible as a core. I mean, more like when they take a hero that's
5 seconds
consistently
remaining.
seen as a core and then they make it a support and it provides like a weird game state. It's like it's harder to read the game then because it's something that you haven't played against. And we've seen DP support a couple times now, but that was the first thing that really surprised me that they did. That they pushed themselves in a weird comfort zone kind of, and they had some weaknesses in another area. But as long as you understand how the hero fits and what their weaknesses are, you can solve that with items or by avoiding bad game situations. And the better players are going to be able to do that more flexibly. So we haven't really seen any weird shit out of OG just yet, but I'm sure it's coming. It'll be there.
No. I'll have to give him my copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Draft later. It's got the words "Don't panic" written in nice friendly
And
letters on the
always
cover.
bring a towel.
It's very true.
They still have Naga Siren available in the pool, which is kind of interesting
10
considering how much
seconds
OG
remaining.
valued that.
It's the Monkey King first 2 ban. I think without that available in the
5
pool, they
seconds
just
remaining.
don't really have
Value
the
it as
synergy.
highly.
This would have
Like-
been the perfect time to play
Well-
the soundbite of Kyle saying, "Why is it wet?" But it didn't happen.
The thing is, the Naga, you have the minus armor in lane, and like then you have Orb Corruption Monkey King, plus the later combo. Like it's a good lane, and it's an awesome combo. Without it, I just don't think they care Naga as much. This sets up OG for the Furion. Just saying,
No.
No, the
Creep.
camp's already
ban,
taken out.
already
They were-
out.
nice, good job. I was
were
testing
smart.
you guys. The Beastmaster though is still available.
Yeah, he is. I know you had to check just to be sure.
Cheese, you're always throwing me under the bus.
It's so easy though.
You basically crawl underneath it yourself.
I just lie down on the road.
Yeah, we have got the IO. I think this.
Are we setting up for something like Luna? Or
No, please no.
God no.
I'm just saying, I've seen some Luna, and I've been told that Io and Luna is okay together.
Alliances turn
We're
to
not
hit.
going for okay.
We are not.
When you're playing versus OG, you can't go for an okay draft. Wasn't
This-
that exactly what Mid One said? Yeah, we played Alliance. They're an okay team. That was not a
Yeah.
good.
Oy, oy, oy. Weaver. All right,
Weaver.
this alliance lineup's fast but very squishy. I love the Ember pick. We saw Liquid first to the Coddle Ember. I'm surprised it's actually still in the pool. Yeah, like the pace OG can play with, like they're just so strong, the fights. And there, yeah, I was gonna say, Alliance, you have to play real fast and kill stuff. You can't kill DK. It's a point and click stun against Weaver Puck. This is great.
There's quite a few magic nukes on Alliance side right now too. That ended up being one of the things that really hurt Dragonite in the last game we just saw. Was that in that like mid game phase, if all the heroes are there and they use their magic nukes, he just dies. So they don't have that many coming
No.
from the Alliance side just yet. Weaver's going to be effective against Pango at least in terms of like dodging things, and Rolling Thunder's not that scary, but Ember Slight Chains is scary.
10
Dragonite can be scary, so I just don't feel super comfortable with Weaver. I feel like it does pretty good in the laning stage, but it has issues in ultra late games sometimes, so or often I would say.
Yeah, I just don't like Wisp with Weaver as a pairing.
Yeah.
When you think Wisp, you think, okay, something that benefits from having a fountain, right? And typically spread damage as well. Something like that's both durable and fast, and like Gyro. You turn mana into faster farming.
Yeah.
You deal a hell of a lot of damage, whereas Weaver, like, you're not really playing with the Wisp. You're also very squishy. You're not a frontline hero.
You wanna
Weaver isn't
dart
trying
in
to
and
jump.
out.
Exactly.
You're not looking to just stand your ground
Yeah.
and fight.
The best Wisp partners are like the Tinies, the Svens, the Gyros. They just run at you, but they're faster and stronger than you expected. And you can't do that with a Weaver in this game. But we'll see.
Maybe there's something else that you can do that with still.
It
that
could be
they
offlane
find.
Weaver.
It's true.
Core Wisp? I don't even know, though. Puck mid? It's
Well-
more likely Puck mid because it's limp,
Yeah.
but into DK.
But
Like,
I also feel like Nico Baby Weaver. I feel like Nico Baby can do better.
no, it's comfort zone, to your point, but I'm afraid it's the same thing we saw. And I know we've been memeing on the bat, but it wasn't the bat as much as you're putting, I think, your most skilled player and the
10
pace setter for your team in limp on a hero that has an unfavorable matchup and is answered throughout the game. And that's the issue here if you put him on Puck.
It's
I
one of
feel
the.
like-
Sorry, go ahead. First.
I feel like if they put Ember in the safe lane with Coddle and Weaver lanes against him, it's actually not that bad for Weaver IO. Because outside of, like, you can dodge Illuminates easier with Sakuchi. Ember normally just does slight harass to harass his opponents down, but IO regen can offset that a bit, so I think that could be maybe what they're going for.
Is this a mid Grim? There is a chance that it's Pango 4, right?
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I think it's more like
You got DK, I guess.
it is.
I really want to see mid.
Remaining.
It's OG. It could literally
It could
be
be-
anything,
Yeah.
honestly. Let's be really honest, guys. We could see a
5
Grim.
Support
seconds
DK.
remaining.
Support
the-
Ember,
The
Harry
OG,
Coddle.
OG lineup's just so scary. Like you have these 3 cores that are full divide, 2 supports that make them better and stronger and provide a lot of utility. And the Alliance draft, like I'm struggling to see the last pick that brings it together. Like I actually think they need that Meepo Alchemist type hero. Because right now they're not in control of the win condition. All of their heroes are answered by the OG draft.
Well, they got 50 seconds to come up with an answer to OG's draft. You know, the key to this draft, if you will. I think Alliance is one of the only teams that, so far in this DPC league, has consistently picked their mid hero in the first 2. If this is indeed a limp puck.
I mean, maybe they were trying to do the, like, hey guys, puck could be anywhere, but it's like you have to like do it once in a while, throw it in
Yeah.
the support role to like really make them. But like, I don't necessarily see Alliance being as willing to do that.
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes this. It's like gives the upper hand to teams like Secret, so or OG, because you just really don't know what they're gonna do.
Because they do everything. Yeah, you gotta have something to back up the claims of a flex pick
The
in
bluff.
this case. Yep. Let's see. The Beastmaster coming out. So yeah, puck mid.
Beastmaster into Pango, Ember, man. You know, it's Wisp Beastmaster. These are 2 pretty incredible heroes. I just wish it wasn't a Weaver.
Mid Grimstroke.
All right.
DK offlane.
I
Pango.
mean,
I like it.
it's really good against Puck.
Are you waiting for me to say something? I want to hear the final thoughts from Purge first.
Grimstroke is mid. That's all I know. I don't know what the lane matchups are going to. But DK against the harass of the enemy should be pretty good, I guess. So, but it's weird. I don't know. I'd have to stare at it for another 3 minutes to be a good answer. So.
That's okay. You can stare at it for however long the game lasts. We'll be back with you after the game. What are you thinking, Abby?
I think OG, they have favorable matchups in all the lanes, and unless Wisp Weaver just crush and they take total map control 3 towers by 12 minutes, it's just such a hard game for Alliance. I feel like they have to play so much better. It's DK Ember, like, hey, we're gonna stun that guy. He's real squishy. He died. All right, cool. Next. It just, I'm not seeing it, but I'm hoping Alliance can surprise me.
I mean, stuns win games. And also, I don't have faith in this Weaver. I hate to say it, but I don't see how he fits into the grand picture. Like, it looks like it's just way too hard to execute this draft, so I'm gonna have to go with OG.
All right. Well, it's an opening game. How is it going to play out? What form are these teams in? We're gonna find out together with OD Pixel and BSG.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, ready to go here with Alliance versus OG. Brian, we've heard the panel's opinion on the draft. They seemingly favor what OG have here. What's your thoughts? I mean, can Alliance do this? They do have Nico Baby on the Weaver, and this guy's a bit of a beast on the carry Weaver.
Yeah, he's just they pretty much all got all their eggs in one basket. They've got the Beastmaster aura, they got the IO, they're amping up the one guy, and it's the Weaver. That's the only concern I really have. It's not that I doubt Nico Baby's capabilities on the hero. I think if Limp turns himself potentially into a right-clicking core, that this could be more doable from the side of Alliance to scale like they need to. I think both lineups have playmaking potential, so despite whoever comes out to an early advantage, if somebody does, there will definitely be some brawling to come back into the game. A lot of global presence on both sides. You got Keeper Light Recall, you got the relocate from Wisp. So it's going to be a lot about these like micro movements.
Yeah, and on the sort of side of OG, what obviously the Thompson Grimstroke coming in again. You sort of look what it's playing up against. You think this is a game where Thompson's got a pretty good future ahead of him in this match?
I would just say they have a nice balance of guys that go in and guys that sit back. I think Grimstroke's very much enabled by the teammates that he has. He has a lot of nice Inkswell targets, even in the support Pangolier. It's a great person to just throw into the middle of the fight. And it's going to be really difficult, I think, to get on top of him. And it's going to be a lot on Limp as well as Nico Baby to manage to kind of sneak back.
Yeah, we'll see how well Limp can do it mid matchup. I mean, Limp Puck, definitely one of the finest pucks in the industry. We'll see how well a lead he can get against Topson, or if Topson's going to cause issues for him in the laning stage. I mean, let's start looking at the side lanes. We started here from the panel, some of the strengths they thought were going on for the duos. Is there any sort of matchup you think that's going to be hard for one of the teams here?
I'm definitely curious about bottom, because as we see, Seb actually levels his stun level 1 just to make sure that Stox's Illuminate hits. I think Nico Baby's going to struggle a bit, because once he gets some points up in the armor, Seb, he's not really going to care about the damage that Weaver's outputting, and thus he can kind of just play up in his face. Weaver's got pretty low base armor. I love the DK pick. I think it was the best pick of the draft. It basically said we have a super tanky stunner that you can't do anything to, that can find any of your squishy cores out.
And sort of the overall game, how does it look for a carry Weaver? You know, is this a game where Nico Baby's going to have a lot of difficulties ahead of him when you see what he's playing into?
I legitimately don't know what item build he's going to go for. Like, I would lean towards Maelstrom SNY, because you have a lot of enablers to keep you alive, and you just need to survive through the disables that Seb's going to dish out with maybe like a quick follow-up from the Grimstroke. But he might just have to go for that early BKB, and if you've got a Wisp behind you and a Beastmaster Aura buffing you up, that's just not what I would deem like a feels good. You know, you're excited to go BKB second item on Weaver.
I think one thing that's definitely going to be fun to keep our eyes on this game when we look over to the carry of OG, Mid1 on his Ember. But we've seen it from Mid1 in these games. He likes to bring something a little new to the table sometimes with his builds. Do you think there's going to be any sort of inventive items coming out from Mid1 this game?
I would be pleasantly surprised if he goes for the Boost to Travel Midas.
On the Ember, let's go. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be a Desolator. I would like to see as his like damage item. They've got a lot of magic damage, and they've also got low armor cores. Weaver starts with 3 or 4. Puck starts with about 0, and he can really make it so that they just get blown up before they can even react.
See bottom again. Just still 7 stacks. You're getting a lot of damage done here. Opening with the Dragon Tail, and still no points to the passive. Just going full on the offensive here, Seb. 2 in the breath and the setup, of course, with the stun. CSO down bottom. Seeing Nico Baby not have any trouble at all. 16 last hits against Seb's 12 and 3. And the mid matchup for now, pretty even here between Limp and Topson. I guess both heroes with solid nukes to just sort of bounce the lane back and forth between each other.
I would imagine mid's pretty much just a trade. They both have reliable ways to CS. They can both avoid the other person's nukes. I don't see how they could ever really deny each other much at all. This is interesting. You don't really see the DK skill build like this at all, but I guess the Keeper of the Light Chakra Magic really does enable certain wonky skill builds that are usually mana limited.
On the top half of the map, S4 still finding, you know, not quite as much as Seb is on the respective offlane on the other side, but still not getting completely zoned out. Thanks to the presence of FNG. FNG taking the time to move over towards mid. They're going to look to try and set him onto Topson. Topson going to ink swell himself, forcing Limp to jump away, keep his distance. But Topson's very low right now. Phantom's Embrace and the nuke going to be dodged very nicely by Limp with the phase shift. And Topson looking out on the courier. Has he got any regen? He hasn't. So Topson's going to have to take the walk all the way back to base. So a nice bit of pressure there from FNG on the mid, giving Limp a free wave or so.
Yeah, the pace of the game tends to ramp up a lot around the 5-minute catapults and bounties, and I've been seeing a lot of mids who end up not getting the bottle refill at 4 minutes, choose to just go back to base. Seems pretty common nowadays, so don't fret if you find yourselves in your games in a similar spot.
Back to lane now, no tail whilst the space was there. I'm going to hang around, make sure the XP wasn't missed out upon. See, coming in for the 5-minute runes, no tail. Step up, down bottom. Nico Baby trying to get aggressive onto Saxa. Dunn will hold him back. Does he want to try and chase the call? He won't. Start to have to think about these 5-minute runes already. Top of the river, FNG. With that fish here, make sure that he's able to pick it up before no tail is. And Limp coming across to get that one on their half. Will mean it's 2 for 2 on the bounties.
For my cause.
Just what I've been waiting for.
All in all, a very close and passive start. Nobody yet to fall here 5 minutes in between Alliance and OG.
I like the skill build from Ember. They don't really have any aggressive potential because Penglier's a relatively weak laning 5 position, and the fact that you have this really strong laning independent Ember Spirit allows for you to have this Pango. So he's kind of just choosing to go for the constant harass with Slight, but then he's going to still enable his own farm and also ways to deal with the wave so that Beastmaster can't really set up any tower pushes by going for no points in the series.
Sitting around the mid lane again, FNG. Let's come across again, Alliance. Just having the superior control around these power runes. Limp able to grab that DD up. And now they've got to be on the ready here. He has hit level 6, but actually not opting for a point in the Dream Coil quite yet, Limp.
Radiant are scanning.
I guess that does speak to the pace of the game. Both teams, I think once they get to those timings, it's gonna be from 100 to or 0 to 100 real quick. As of right now, it looks like this is the first time I've ever seen somebody skip ult on Puck. But if the Earthshaker intends on staying mainly around the Beastmaster top, then I don't think he will ever have the solo kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, and skipping it again. Yeah, hits level 7, still not putting a point in the Dream Coil. I mean, as you say, if he doesn't need it, he doesn't need it.
This is just confidence on a hero. Like to go this really wonky skill build. DK bottom. See the Puck skipping the coil here. These guys have definitely been in this spot before, and they just know what to expect coming in the next few minutes.
Top lane, S4 now with the Necro book out, putting a lot of pressure onto Midbot. I mean, Midbot's just down in mana. He's just dead. Ooh, K-Stick charge on the side of Fist. He gets the Remnant out, but he hasn't got enough to jump to it. I mean, that Necro book just destroyed Midbot. He just slowly let himself get beaten down and the mana taken out. See over towards mid Limp. Trying to play aggressive in onto Thompson. TP backup coming in for OG. FNG's there on the side with Limp to back him up. Got the DD as well here on Limp if he wants to get back in. Stepping over to FNG, finds the setup. Extra damage coming through from Stacks with the Illuminate. Limp still able to jump in and clean up the mid kill. Thompson goes down. An extra TP coming over from OG. They're bringing in Midbon. They're going to look to try and get the catch onto Limp, but Limp, he's more than fine, of course, with this skill build. As you say, no points in chain, so they don't have the setup, and Limp's able to get out of there.
I like what Alliance is doing. These early moves are really nice. They're pressuring multiple points on the map. They're getting some nice kills, but yet OG still has the lead. You can see that all 3 cores farming really well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That haste rune just allowing him to get straight back down to the bottom lane. We'll see him farm up the blink on the DK to make sure that OG's got that solid initiation.
I take what I
You mentioned a great target for Thompson to buff up with the ink swell and have that first jump in. You know, Limp at his level 8, holding on to the point. Does have the point ready to drop if he sees an opportunity to get active, potentially on the side lanes with the Dream Coil.
The best thing for OG that the Beastmaster War, even though it got the kill on the Ember, it didn't result in a tower or loss of farm. The Pango took over the lane. They were still farming the mid lane. And we might see a repeat here, S4.
Again, just this mana burn from the Necro books just causing such an issue here for Midbot. It's easy kills anytime he shows in the lane here. 2 times now, S4. Just he's loving life up there. Down bottom, they're going to try and make the aggressive move onto Seb, setting up with the Dream Coil. Have they got enough damage to break down this Dragon Knight? Seb tries to turn a holds back to one of them, but it's not enough to stop him from going down. Tips out as well here from Nico, baby. It's top lane. Even hunting in the trees to see if they can get No-Tail too. This, again, just the power of S4 and this early Necrobook timing that he can get on the Beastmaster. I mean, I've never seen sort of the rush get so many kills. You know, sure, you know, getting it this fast, you're going to have that pressure. They've already lost 3 heroes on this top lane to the Necrobook.
Yeah, they're electing to leave the Coddle bottom to help enable the DK's pressure there, rather than try to alleviate some pressure top, which is interesting. And they're definitely paying the price for it on the side of OG. But yeah, this is a 10th pick Beastmaster. Really good Beastmaster game at this stage. They have a lot of point-click targets. You roar them, they're gonna die. And also, the Earthshaker setup to make sure he can reliably get the roar off on a hero like Ember is quite nice. But just notice how OG just has so much wave that even when they're getting these kills, they're getting these dives. Now OG's finally gonna make their rotation, and DK's ultimate is at the ready, and they might be the first to take an objective despite a lot of these early kills going towards the
gross beans.
See how much pressure they can put on the top lane. And FNG gets it again. Fisher into Raw, into Goodbye Mana. I mean, these two are just crushing this top lane. Like, Midbon, he's died here 3 times now, Brian.
Yeah, that one might just be... At what point do you call it cheating?
Bottom lane, ooh, I'm gonna have the blast to the side, knocks FNG away before he pops the echo. So OG able to keep the majority of them out of the range of that setup attempt.
Is under attack.
As OG, can they chase here? Alliance doing a good job of just getting away. They have lost the tower, but not losing any unnecessary heroes here, Alliance, as they could just keep themselves completely out of there. Of course, with all these kills S4's got up top, he's now able to finish off the tower. And here, 11.5 minutes in, he's already got the level 3 Necro book.
Jesus. Third time's the charm. Do get the tower. 3rd kill on mid one. I wonder who they're going to have take over the top lane. Will it one of the supports? Pangolier and Coddle are both good options. Looks like they are going to send Sock to the top. Look, if they're going to feed somebody now, at least it hopefully won't be a super high value target.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Absolutely, yeah. Midbon's got to find his space elsewhere on the map. How's his farm going? He's got the Javelin, yeah, just trying to rush that Maelstrom here.
It's not in my nature.
To help him sort of pick his game back up, as he's, understandably, with those 3 deaths that he had up there, falling a little bit behind on the Ember. Bottom Seb. He can get the walk in, but TP is already coming over towards the outpost. Alliance there, more than happy to fight this. They're just going to turn them straight towards Seb. No-Tail tossing it up in the high ground, getting first blow. Good angle with the rolling thunder though. No-Tail catching on to the 3 of them. Inkswell stun pull up onto Limp. Limp, can he live it? Handscape providing the heals. The face shift dodges the sleight of fist, but the chains are up. Midbon's able to lock him down. They'll kill off Limp. Nico Baby with the time lapse will manage to get his way out. As at the same time on the top half of the map, S4 picks up another, takes out Saxa. They may have got Limp, but they've still lost 2 overall. Midbon's continuing to try and chase onto Hansken. With Nico Baby by his side, OG have to hold back. They can't dive in any further onto these 2.
It's nice to see that OG lives the same life that I live when they play against Beastmaster this patch. Whoever goes to the top lane is just gonna die. I know we all talk about the memes of the dead lane and everything, but this Beastmaster here is ridiculous. There's this like fight going on bottom, and S4, he hasn't moved. Like, if you see his heat map, it's just top lane. That's all it is. He's just been sitting there pushing it in, roaring whoever shows up when his Necro book's available. And since that cooldown got reduced instead of 2-8, pretty much all the time.
This is some pretty flawless Beastmaster play here from S4 so far. They're going to try and make a gank onto him. No-Tail trying to close in with the Thunder. What sort of backup is there? FNG's waiting in the shadows. So there's No-Tail. He's going to be fine there. FNG not quite able to block him in with the Fisher. As No-Tail gets out, but again, those 4 of OG trying to sweep across. They really want to slow down S4's game. But unable to do so there, as S4 is going to continue to have all the space that he wants up it.
That is such good map awareness from S4. He has been aggressive 14 minutes in a row, and the one time they make a move on him, he was fully aware of it. He was backing off before they even got there, and it's so important he stays alive. He's 5-0.
Yeah, this is
#1 net worth.
It's going to be any better for him so far, and he's ready to turn it into a 6-0. He's in with the smoke with FNG. They get the setup on a No-Tail. There it is. It's going to be another one for him, for sure. Maybe not with the swashbuck or the slope. Still causing issues. No-Tail, he's got nowhere to roll out. And the damage from these Necro books, it's too much here. Another kill for S4. Completely unstoppable on this Beastmaster. And hey, would you look at that? Perfect position to start having a bit of a chip at the tier 1 tower mid.
progression for Beastmaster. You take the top tower, and eventually you look to invade the mid tower, whether you casually walk there, or whether you turn it from a smoke gank. Even though it gets denied, that's just such an important tower to take at this stage against a hero like DK, where he wants to take your mid tower. I know it's not a mid DK, but the team that takes the first mid tower makes it harder for the other team to...
Trying to hunt down Limp. Orb's already out. He's able to jump away. And we're seeing this a few times now. You know, OG tried that sweep on S4 up top. They're trying to get Limp in the jungle. Alliance doing a really good job this game of staying a bit of a step ahead of OG and making it hard for OG to make these aggressive moves that they kind of need to succeed with the lineup that they have.
Yeah, Necrobook 3 is dead, so this should just be a free tower mid, I would assume. But thus far, Alliance, like you said, their moves have been quite crisp. I would say that I don't know what they do without the Beastmaster's Book 3. That is really the hero. So glad to see they agree and they back off. Weaver, he's got just the Maelstrom, no boots, Sanj. Okay.
Trying to get in onto FNG. And with Seb's follow-up, he'll have it.
Yeah, I like this Weaver build a lot. You don't need boots necessarily when you have the IO and Sakuchi. The Sanj makes his game so much easier to play because he'll be able to much more reliably survive through that initial volley of spells, plus up the healing he gets from the IO. OG looks to want to make a move top.
Tricky one to catch though, especially with Hanskin by his side, and Hanskin's already ready to take him out with a relocate.
Yeah, that was never going to work, I think. Alliance just has really good positioning on the map. Really good awareness, but Puck was always, Limp was instantly ready to dodge that gank. S4 dodged the smoke gank earlier. And Hanskin, I guess that's the price they pay, and I'm sure OG kind of expected that to be the end result if IO was behind him.
Fine. Didn't out that move, but still 9-5, just a 1k lead. It is close. Alliance.
So he's got the Boots of Travel Midas Ember version. He's going Maelstrom into Boots of Travel.
Alliance with this smoke might catch one of them walking up here. Yeah, Raw down onto mid one. You're gonna have Seb jump in for the backline, but the Fish is already gonna finish mid one off. As mid one goes down, Seb popping the outer dragon form, opting to try and fight, but he's completely out of mana thanks to the Necro Book. And Seb, he's gonna get left behind. The rest of his team bailing on him. As Seb goes down, Nico Baby getting in aggressive with the chase onto Thompson. The silence from Limp and the damage here from this blade, causing No-Tail to have to jump out. Thompson's also been split from the lineup as Thompson falls. Double kill for S4. As they're really struggling, OG here. Alliance just each and every time creating this impenetrable defense that OG just can't seem to fight into right now.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is a bit lazy for mid one. He just walked up a high ground with no vision, with all of Alliance missing, and it definitely requires Alliance to be properly positioned at all times to punish that sort of move, but he was #1 net worth on his team despite the rough start that he had, and he just walked up the high ground and died instantly with no impact at all. Alliance capitalizing to the max on that one. They're now up by 5,000 gold at 18 minutes.
Yeah, this is looking like such a cleaner Alliance compared to what we saw from them in the first series that they had here in the league. They definitely went away and did their homework, and they've tightened up their gameplay dramatically between that last series and what we're seeing from them now, as this is just top form Alliance here, and big smiles from S4. I mean, you can't blame him. He's 8-0-1 on his Beastmaster. He is having quite the game.
Yeah, I don't know if OG was ready for this. Alliance is playing so well. I feel like both drafts had nice win conditions, and Alliance's draft, I would say, was a bit more fragile in terms of the timings that it had to hit, the map control it had to siege early, and they are doing it.
Seb, be looking for some sort of setup mid. Cautious though, as Hanskin and Nico Baby there by the side. Of course, Hanskin ready at a moment's notice to bring Nico Baby straight into the action. Anti-runes coming up soon. Seb is going to jump in on this. I mean, there's a relocate coming over. Okay, he has got Saxa by his side, but already Limbs jumped in on the back lines with the Dream Coil. Seb is dead. As the Thunder comes out, with the Fission's in place, Nico Baby's going to start to poke at the back lines, looking towards Thompson. S4 just standing his ground with the BKB. As Nico Baby and FNG look to chase them down. Midbon's got a run, but the Echo snaps out. Midbon's locked down into the silence. Midbon goes down. It's 3 dead on OG. Thompson's trying to run. He's out of mana. He's also going to voice a team wipe. What is OG doing? They're just making it easy for Alliance. I mean, that was a pretty wild initiation from Zed, Brian.
Yeah, I feel like S4 had to work really hard for his earlier kills, but the last two have just been cores blinking or walking up high grounds into him.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I think OG is thinking to themselves that Alliance has to mess up. Like, we have to make these proactive plays, and if Alliance is not ready for them, they will work. But Alliance has been in the right position, and it's just so clean.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, as you say, I guess OG waiting for a mistake from Alliance. This Alliance doesn't look like it's going to make any mistakes this game. From what we've seen so far, I mean, how big their heroes are getting. Nico Baby, the next thing you know, he's going to have his Skadi complete. And then once he has that on top of the S and Y, there's going to be more than ample time for Hanskin to just get in every single time and offer up that extra bit of heal and sustain to make it very hard for OG to ever be able to burst through this Weaver. Bottom lane Lim, he's in with a setup onto Midbon. Midbon's down, roar onto Notel, holding him and placing the Rolling Thunder. And they're just chasing for more. There's just no stopping here from Alliance. Straight over to Thompson. Thompson cannot do anything here against the full 5 of them surrounding him and taking him down. It's 20-5, 21 minutes in, 9k lead for Alliance as they are completely dominating OG.
When he's got the Wisp tethering him, the Necrobook move speed aura, and Sakuchi, he's at 700 plus movement speed on Nico Baby. So with that's without boots. For the record, the S&Y is actually more value because it's bonus percent movement speed, which Sakuchi is flat bonus move speed. So he's getting like basically more than boots out of an S&Y. We were concerned about Weaver's survivability in tandem with his lack of damage early, but he has this Impla as a nice neutral item, and he's able to skip the boots, so his other timings are coming online much earlier. Weaver does suffer with regen. He's a hero that usually has to go for like a Falcon Blade or an earlier Lincoln Spear against a hero like DK. This IO is definitely enabling Nico Baby to just go for all of these luxurious items that feel really nice to buy.
See bottom. I mean, Midbon tries to go in onto FNG, but Limp's in with the backup. Coils down. Midbon getting burst low. Notel in with the Rolling Thunder to provide some safety for Midbon. He ticks down low. They do get FNG over to the side. Thompson was trying to join the team, but S4 puts him in position with the Roar. Saxon trying with the TP out. Is he going to make it away? He does. Only just, but again, Thompson dying. S4 continues to just sort of take whatever he wants it each and every time. The Roar's guaranteeing a kill, and there's no save from OG. As soon as S4 opens up onto someone, it's an easy kill for Alliance.
Hanskin has pinged Seb here. They obviously don't see him based on what we see with their wards, but they know that Seb was not at that fight, and he must be somewhere else, and there's not too many options left. Seb cleans up the triangle, trying to complete his BKB. I think that fight honestly wasn't that bad for OG. All things considered, there were a lot of narrow escapes coming out from them, and then in the meantime, Seb was completing a crucial item on the other side of the map. So this may be go time. I don't really know when there's a better go time for OG. BKB from DK, he has Blink BKB at this point. I don't even know if it's enough. The raw damage now might just be too overwhelming, despite the fact that DK was meant to be tanky in this game.
Yeah, I know, just Nico Baby, so huge. I mean, 24 minutes in, Maelstrom S&Y Skadi, as we saw there on the numbers, it's just under 3 minutes faster than what you can normally expect to see on a Weaver. They're looking for a fight here, Alliance. And that's Seb. He's going to try and start it. They're trying to get rid of Hanskin, see if they can burst in with the combo. But the Roar's out onto Thompson. Hanskin's still alive. Can he finally finish him off? He can. No-Tail comes in with the Rolling Thunder. They get the kill, but Thompson's going to fall to the Necro Book. They've got the chains onto S4. Follow-up Dragon Tail stuff from Step, but there's the coverage from FNG. Lays down the Fisher. Stops them from being able to kill off S4. As OG, again, just losing another horrendous team fight for themselves. They lose 4. They only get Handskin, and they really had to throw everything onto the IO to even get that kill at all.
You know, I've had some casual Dota players come in and say, I feel like I can't have much impact in the offlane. I feel like I'm always reliant upon my team to carry me, and I feel like S4 is shutting that notion down. Like, I can't believe this. This is insane performance. 12-0-5. This is how you carry a freaking game from the offense.
Yeah.
Last pick, they trusted him to do exactly this by giving him last pick. I guess he gave himself last pick, so he trusted himself. Hey, you know what? Faith in yourself, that's important too. But I don't know, man. This is such good play. Like, they're dying to his stuff on the ground, and it's enabling so much to happen with these squishy heroes we were concerned about. They're not so squishy when the threats are all just dead.
Thompson just caught outside of the base. Nico Baby's going to chase him up. He's dead. There's going to be a buyback from Saxa. They're trying to turn this around. No-Tail looking for the angle here with the Thunder, but Limp, he's already got the Magic Community out. Good to go. Stands his ground. It's going to be Mip one out for the count. He has got a buyback. No-Tail trying to TP away. They're going to be able to kill him before he's even out of there. As No-Tail's out of the game. Seb and Saxa just getting pushed back to the fountain here by Nico Baby. As there seems to be very little that OG can do right now to hold Alliance back. 29-7, 18k lead. And 26 minutes in Alliance, they're taking the top racks. Tier 3's down, racks are exposed. It doesn't seem like OG can hold this at all. Seb, I mean, he's got nothing here. He's trying to run, but they're underneath the tier 4s. It's getting messy. It's getting very, very messy here. As again, you know, this is so different to the Alliance that we saw the other day. This is the Alliance that the fans expected to see, and my goodness, they're getting a show right here in Game 1 against OG.
That might have been the funniest use of Echo Slam I've ever seen. FNG, no blink, but just a shard. And Echo Slam to keep the Aftershock stunned on Thompson, so he wasn't able to cast any of his spells. Yeah, the GG's called absolutely outplayed by Alliance and OG there. I thought both drafts were very nice. The panel seemed to favor OG. That's when you know it's probably going to be Alliance because Kyle's on the panel. But I'm just impressed, man. There were so many chances for OG to fight their way back into this game with these clever
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we.
Yeah, I think they would prefer a
5
more
seconds
active
remaining.
game. I think there was 0 kills until that first blood on mid one, and
Yeah.
that's a level 6 Beastmaster.
And it was minute 7.
Alliances
Took a
turn
while.
to
Yeah,
ban.
and maybe just a little less complicated. I'm a believer in some weird 5s, but I don't know about Pango 5. Also want to make a comment that I didn't like the IO Shaker, because that's just a support duo that seems very greedy. But this new Ag Shard, Shaker doesn't need a blink.
Turn to
He's just
alliances turn
playing
to
from
ban.
afar. We even saw the echo because the aftershock onto the Fisher. Like, that's just super cool, and I think it activates this Wisp Shaker combo.
Kevin, what kind of changes do you want to see as we are headed into the draft here for this game?
Turn to
Yeah, I agree with what Cal said about the Pango 5 being a little bit weak, and that's a little bit of the weird stuff that OG likes going for, but it certainly gave Beastmaster more or less a 1v1 because Earthshaker was comfortable dealing with Pango with all of the creep manipulation stuff. I thought the Dragonite offlane was actually pretty effective in
10
terms of
seconds
harassment. The skill
remaining.
build was kind of cool in that it basically guaranteed that Weaver would get harassed a lot, but
5
ultimately
seconds
Weaver got too
remaining.
much regen, ended up stabilizing, which was what kind of made everything look weak.
Turn to
Because at some point Dragonite just, if he doesn't like get some kills in the lane in that circumstance, he's just gonna fall off comparison to other heroes. So probably just a completely different set of 5 heroes for OG is what we're expecting to see.
Okay. We got Alliance picking up the Nyx Assassin first. I am mostly curious to see if they throw Limp under the bus a little bit again there
10
by picking his
seconds
hero
Alliances
so early
turn
on
to
in
pick.
the draft. Ruby Staple and OG open up with the Rubik, the always fitting Rubik.
Don't we have like a stat on Rubik currently though? I think maybe it was Cap who mentioned it the other day that he's got like an abysmal win rate so far.
I will find out for you.
I think it was like, what, like 30 something or 41 something? Like, it's very low.
I was higher than that. I think it was like 46%.
46, I think that's too high.
Yeah, I made fun of him. Like 46%, like that's
I speak for the
it's not
team.
great. Oh no!
What's happening?
They made the classic blunder.
25% this month.
Oh.
And
It's February 1st.
this is just
It is not February 1st. Don't do that to her.
just this month and just in EU.
10 seconds
Okay, I think
Yep,
it might have been
sounds good.
across the DPC.
Well, across
but...
DPC, JJ just has
5
stats.
seconds
Obviously, he has to one-up me. He gives stats, it's 16 to 23. You know, in EU, he's only been picked 8 times this month. But that is all DPC, 41%.
Well,
41%. I was correct.
this one's in the books, folks. Pack it up. It's a 2-0. They did it.
The Nature's Prophet does it for you.
I want to see it in the chat. I'm not going to say it here. You know what you have to do.
You play
What?
against Alliance.
No, Sheaves, don't help them. The true
Fill
fans
in the
will know.
blanks.
Okay,
Fill in the
memes
blank.
aside, what about the Prophet is the game winner? Is the fact that it lanes well against Rubik as a support?
10 seconds
Giant
remaining.
treants.
Okay, yeah, you can say like you're
5
strong or whatever, but it would be picked
remaining.
every game if that was the case. Clearly, that has to be something.
We're
match specific.
confused why
Global-
he's not picked in
It
every
is
game. too.
it is a Zeus Ult and a global teleport plus an Invis Hunter. So naturally a ton of synergy. Nyx, lots of disable, map control, no
Alliances
tower
turn to
pressure.
ban.
Furion provides both map pressure and tower damage. Creeps. In addition, it is Alliance, and you're playing against a Rubik that's most likely safe lane. Furion owns him. It could be core, it could be support, who knows. S4 went up the mountain to train
10
with the
seconds remaining.
master himself, Admiral Bulldog.
5
He spent
seconds
6
remaining.
months at an elevation of 8,000 meters doing nothing but learning how to control trees with his
OGs
mind.
turn
That's not
to
true.
ban.
But the
Alliances
Nyx assassin,
turn
of
to
course, you
ban.
know, having that presence being the invisible assassin makes it really easy too for the Nature's Prophet to be able to teleport over and participate in ganks. And if you get one more mobile hero, you got a lot of aggression coming out from Alliance, which is what I like to see.
When we saw FNG play Nature's Prophet against
10
Team
seconds
Nigma, he
remaining.
was an absolute beast. And we talked earlier today in the series already
5
that we want to
seconds
see
remaining.
on the position 4 and 5s, we want to see supports that can contribute a lot. And I think as far if it is an Nature's Prophet 5, because obviously that's still a little bit up in the air, but if it is, this position 5 will contribute loads, and I like to see that. Puck banned out on the side of OG together with the Weaver, so 2 heroes from the previous game that they thought difficult to deal with. What do we think about the Brewmaster picked up, by the way? Pango position
think-
5 didn't work out, but the Brew position 5, how about that one?
Brew's support is actually pretty darn good right now. He's got unnaturally high HP. He doesn't have a huge amount of armor, but basically, like, if you're fighting to the death, Brew is really solid right now. Lowers the attack speed and movement speed when you use claps, so generally you're just going to do well in trading. And you might think, like, hey, but you're not going to be that useful later with your skills because you don't have a blink deck. Well, you just buy Earn, and then you can use Cinder Brew and then earn somebody, so you get to still use your skills from range. And then obviously, splitting is still pretty incredible as a support. So can work there. It could also lane decently well. I think against Nature's Prophet as a support, it would lane pretty darn well against Prophet. As a core against Prophet, maybe not so
10
much.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I agree.
But
It
has options.
It's better suited than a Pango to be a 5 because you're way
5
more based
seconds
around just
remaining.
XP based damage. Whereas Pango, your Q and your lucky shot, like you need to be hitting stuff. Your W makes you tankier, but if you're a support, you don't really feel good about that. You can just Cinder, Earn from afar, split. That's a ton of value from a 5 position. You don't even have to risk anything. So, as usual, thank you, Kevin.
You said it wrong, but okay.
What did I say wrong?
You said thank you, Kevin.
Yeah?
I get
That's not the
confused. Are we
meme.
supposed to like I feel we
What's
call
your real
him
name?
10
we call him
seconds
Kevin,
remaining.
but he's Purge, and then there's BSJ, but we call him Brian. Am I supposed to be
What-
using your first names, or am I
That's
supposed to be
weird.
using?
At Midas mode, he said, "Call me the Kevmeister," and he didn't respond if I said anything other than that.
Kyle just keeps lying.
It's his
It was the
MO.
Kevinator, by the way, not Kevmeister.
Ah,
Dead to me, Kyle.
so I mean, I guess he's using different names for different people. Shady, if you ask me.
It's just good names to say.
Alliances turn to pick.
Kevin, Brian. Good names. Ricky.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Steve.
Steve. our
Isn't that the name
fan.
of your biggest fan?
Yep, the name of Kyle's biggest fan, Steve.
Steve.
It's like the name Todd.
Not as good.
No?
Not as strong.
What about
Odd.
Thad?
No.
10
Thaddeus.
seconds
Thaddeus, yeah,
remaining.
Thaddeus is a good name.
I feel like the old Roman names were the best. They
Oh,
just
yeah.
had a bunch of,
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know, it just felt,
Tiberius.
Alexander.
just sounds like the name an emperor would have.
Augustus.
My middle name is Alexander. Maybe that's why I like it.
I was middle name.
What about Ricky?
Really?
Do you guys like that name?
I do like Riki.
I like Ricky Maru better.
It's really
personally.
nice against Fury, and once you get Battle Fury for creep clearing, and you hunt him, which is very important. Also, Cloud's very good against Nyx. Non-damage, disable, and silence.
Yeah, Sprout doesn't feel that effective. Like Prophet until he gets Orchid, at least Ricky has a lot of solutions to get out of that pressure. So I kind of like it. His base armor's okay on Ricky, right? I can't remember. I feel like it's at least like medium.
Good pick.
That matchup's not good though.
That's a really good
For
pick.
Ricky.
Well, when they did win that game against Team Nigma, where they had the Nature's Prophet, they did also run that Timber Saw.
10
And
seconds
their
remaining.
other cores were Bat, Wraith King. Wraith King obviously still in the pool. Bat
5
obviously
seconds
banned
remaining.
out. Wait a second. Is this Alliance saving Limp's pick?
What?
What?
No way.
Way.
He's got a lot of options too. I love Timber with these two heroes. It's still flexible in the lane, and you just cover the weaknesses. You know, you've got a Nyx. It's just, you know, Nyx needs damage. Timber brings a lot of damage. He doesn't have stuns. There's the Nyx for you. And you have so much pressure now because Timber can play one lane by himself. That makes Furion free to play elsewhere. It's a really nice way to add pressure, and it owns this entire draft of OG right now.
So what is what are we looking for OG? Because they can run everything somewhat flexible. Although I think personally I would prefer the Brew 5, the Ricky, obviously for mid 1. So that means we would be looking for a Seb and a Thompson hero.
They need Magic Burst ideally to give them some kill options against Timbersaw. Around the like 8 to 12 minute mark, somewhere in there. Otherwise, Timber can, if you don't like shut him down in lane, then he kind of just gets a little bit too out of control. So a little bit of burst damage would be nice.
You just have trouble with that because you're playing against Nyx. Covers you against typical heroes like Pugna and Necrophos.
Shadow Demon.
Whoa, that's cool.
I wanna also get an asterisk out here too. This could be Shadow Demon mid. Just want to say that because we have seen Thompson do that in the past. Although I hope that it means that Seb is a Brewmaster
10
and that
seconds
Shadow Demon will be support. But you can't ever be 100% sure.
I don't know about
5
this.
seconds remaining.
This is very ambitious.
Purge is good.
I think it'd be
Purge.
too dangerous to play SD mid because if you're just trying to throw poison, you're just going to get Spike Carapace into comboed since you're squishy. And if Timber ever gets onto you, it's kind of similar situation. So I think it's much more likely for Shadow Demon.
Oh, I'm loving this aggression.
This draft is really nice. It's likely a Furion support now, I think, but like if this is an SD Rubik support, that's the dream. These heroes do not deal with Treants whatsoever, and if it's a Brew core, you're also happy
10
because
seconds
you have Timber
remaining.
against Riki Brew cores. Like that's the dream. I actually think Kevin might be right,
5 seconds
where it's an
remaining.
SD mid, just because it doesn't make sense really otherwise.
That was Shiver's
That
idea,
was
not mine.
me,
I think it's bad to play SD mid here.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm overly convinced, but it does allow you to get to the... Do you still need the axe to get the break and stuff?
Yeah, you do.
And the double?
Otherwise, it's just only a 7-second constant dispel.
Yeah. No, I think
Still very
you
good,
need that axe on the Shadow Demon because that's the way to win. But then you have to play it mid because otherwise it's not going to be enough. But one thing that we mentioned after the previous game is that we want to see OG play a little bit of a faster pace because that's the way they like to play. That's the way we are used to seeing them play. Does this lineup allow for them to play
OG's
faster?
Turn to ban.
Not really. No.
If they lane well, it does. But like last game, they lost their safe lane so hard, and their first couple rotations got completely stumped. So
Yeah.
that's why they had no chance last game. So I don't know. They can
10
pressure PA
seconds
at least
remaining.
with like Shadow Demon 4 plus whoever the offlane is. But
5
PA is gonna be really
seconds
effective at
remaining.
later stages of the game once she gets farmed against SD and Rubik to kill them quick.
I mean, SD though
Alliances
is...
turn to ban.
I think it almost has to be core just because they need break so badly against Timber PA. Like it's
Just
so good here.
You're just repeating my point, Scott.
Yeah, but then they have an SD core though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
They really don't have a
It's-
great means of like hitting builds
10
either on the side of it.
remaining.
Look, memes are
It
in
does.
nowadays.
I know.
It does, so
I
is
have
it
the
in it.
solution.
5 seconds.
It will be
remaining.
Brew off lane, Shadow Demon mid, and then they go for the DP5. Still in the pool.
OG
That's true.
turn
I would have
to
liked them
battle.
to. I would have much
No.
preferred a DP over a Shadow Demon.
No.
We're just no. He's giggling over there.
He's actually thinking.
What
I'm
is
an
the
idiot.
DP5 gonna do to stop PA from murdering her every single fight in 2 seconds?
Eventually,
His
she's
spirit
gonna
sight
get an
10
item.
seconds remaining.
Hopefully.
What are Yules to delay it by 2.5 seconds? Like,
don't know.
come on.
5 seconds.
All right. So what
remaining.
do you want to see on the side of OG?
A real mid hero is what I want to see.
Okay.
Ideally with Magic Burst, somebody that can help guarantee like PA kills. Something like Magic Nuke Heavy and Bursty. Lena like, but maybe not Lena.
They've got a
Alliance
Nyx. Like
turn
that's
to
so
pick.
risky.
Yeah, Nyx does beat those type of heroes certainly. And that's what's kind of cool about the PA and Timber cores actually, with Nyx covering it. It's like your Nyx is always going to be good because those heroes are weak to burst.
You know what?
OG's turn to pick.
We're gonna see Lim play different hero for the first time in the European DPC League. A Void Spirit, most like. Very cool. We did see Alliance ban out both the Titan and Enigma, by the way. That means that they are assuming also Brewmaster Position 5. We got a Tiny coming out from OG as their last pick.
Tiny mid. Yeah.
Tiny mid.
Wow.
It's been a while.
No
You're playing against Limp on a tiny mid.
It's not a bad matchup. You can kill Void Spirit because the shield is purely for physical.
I'm just thinking though the fact that Limp is known for his tiny. Like he's got to know this
Oh, so is
matchup.
Thompson. I don't know actually. It's been a while. Like Tiny's been changed. It's definitely Tiny favored, and it makes sense because OG like they're definitely playing this more like assassin style. They've got to kill this Prophet, this Nyx. They're pretty susceptible to burst. You know, I actually kind of like this. I can't think of a better pick for Thompson here.
We see Limp and S4 are debating who's playing what.
10 seconds remaining.
Who is playing which one? Because we know both can play both, right?
5
Yes.
seconds remaining.
But shouldn't it
Well,
be S4 on the Timber?
I mean, if they put Timber mid, then Tiny's gonna have a really bad time, I assume. But in the same vein, Void Spirit wouldn't do nearly as well against Ricky, so they just have to decide who to shut down, and they're gonna go for offlane Timber, or at least S4 is playing it. I guess my viewpoint is I don't know if Thompson is gonna have an excellent laning stage either way, but he does provide a lot of burst damage. If he gets Blink at a good time, he's gonna destroy Prophet across the map, and he should be able to pressure the PA and maybe the Timber as well and get some really crucial kills. So it's the tempo kind of hero that they need. Maybe OG can win it, but I like Alliance draft better.
All right, thank you very much, Purge. Kyle, your thoughts?
Could go either way. OG need to play a very specific game style to win. The Riki and Tiny have to get over farmed, and the team fights have to be centered around Bruce Split. You know, Timber's annoying to deal with. You throw him up in the air, you go for the squishy supports. PA is low damage early on. It's certainly possible. I'd favor Alliance a bit, but anybody's game.
I'm going Alliance, you know. I went against them game number 1, and I shouldn't have, you know, being the Alliance fangirl that I am, but I take a look at what they've got in the lineup. I see that Prophet, I like the Timber Saw. It just kind of makes sense to me. So Alliance.
All right, let's see who gets the lanes they want, and let's see who can set the tempo for this second game of this best of 3 series. We're heading over to OD Pixel and BSJ.
Thank you very much, Chief. Yeah, so Brian, we've heard what the panel had to say. What are some of your thoughts looking at the 2 drafts we have coming into this game too between OG and Alliance? Thompson bringing the Tiny mid back. Is it going to work?
I'm just coming from the perspective of Ricky, where I've played this hero a lot this patch, and it feels like anytime you're dealing with the early tower pressure, you just lack any wave clear or anything you can really do to stop it yourself. And he's dealing with a 5-position Nature's Prophet and a Timber, who should be able to play up in his face for pretty much the entire early game, and there's not too much Ricky can do to change that. I think it's a lot going to be on Thompson to snowball the map control. Seeing Thompson at TI do the whole phase boots, run around, never stop killing people strat. And I think he's going to have to get some crucial kills early, because PA is one of Ricky's worst matchups in the carry role. Ricky never really wants to buy MKB, and PA is also one of the few carries that can burst him in a matter of seconds before he gets that trick
30
trade off.
seconds to battle.
And sort of, you know, Tiny in this meta and as a hero, you know, why is this something that a lot of teams aren't picking? Like, what are sort of the downsides of Tiny? What does he not offer that so many other mids do in this pack?
I honestly think he's an okay hero. I just think he enables a lot of mid laners like Storm who don't necessarily have the strongest levels like 1 through 3, that they would kind of just free farm. And that if you pick Tiny too early in the draft, it would hand a perfect game to the opponent. So in this case, Void Spirit's more of a very reliable laner. Kind of gets a decent start no matter what matchups he's in. So in this, like, he's more about enabling himself as the Tiny than it is about worrying about the farm of the opponent.
See how well Limp's able to do here. Up against the Tiny. And sort of overall then, do you have a draft here that you do prefer coming into this game too?
I would much prefer to be the PA on Alliance's draft. I think Nico Baby last game surprised a lot of us with his ability to basically just do as much damage and be as tanky as he was on Weaver. And a lot of that was on the back of the space that S4 made for him. And I think we're kind of seeing a similar recipe. I think S4 should have a great early game. It's not going to be until later they can deal with Timbersaw. And PA's really only weakness is the same as Riki. She lacks wave clear early, and she hates to have people playing up in her face and running at her. So in this case, she's not really going to worry about the tower push as much as it is the Tiny that's going to be trying to invade her farm. That's what I'm worried about for the PA.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Thompson's able to make those moves in the mid game and really cause issues for Nico Baby when he's still sort of in that farming phase of the game. So far with the lane setup up top, Seb and Sax is trying to do their best to put the pressure onto these two. I mean, is Nico Baby going to farm all right up here? Can FNG do enough to keep him safe in this lane?
Yeah, PA usually only struggles if they can dive, and they can harass her a lot. He may have to buy a little bit of extra regen. Prophet's a great support for that, though, because he can always TP back base and buy some himself or pick up anything carried out. Rubik Brewmaster is a nice lane because you have the Cinder Brew that's easily activatable by the Fade Bolt, but I really am only afraid of kill lanes if I'm PA. He doesn't necessarily mind just daggering from afar. And her base damage nowadays is decent ever since they've been giving her that buff over the course of patches. Hey, it looks like he's going for the phase boots. I like this a lot against every hero that isn't Tiny. So I guess that's a bit of a concern, but it's nice in lane as well as Riki.
Talking about the Riki down bottom, Alliance doing a great job of really harassing mid one in this laning stage. Taking huge amounts of damage there from the two of them.
Yeah, they expertly counter this Riki. Timbersaw, absolutely nothing you can do about it from Riki's perspective, and PA being the matchup, as good of a matchup as she is. I will be thoroughly impressed if mid one carries this. I feel like this is a very hard Riki game, and I will learn a lot if he does.
Never die.
Not off to a great start. I mean, she said it's a hard game for the Riki, and Alliance, they started off with a first blood against him. This lane proving to already be a little too much for mid one to handle and survive against.
That's actually crazy. Onskin just went for the mana burn. Spike Carapace really isn't that great in this lane against the low instance of damage from the Riki Blink as well as the Shadow Demon Poison. So he's just being super annoying and saying, hey, mid one, if this lane wasn't hard enough for you already, here's less mana for you.
We'll see if mid one can play a little more safe as well. Again, just these two, every time he tries to step up, making it very hard for mid one to find his farm down here. And, you know, obviously last game we saw mid one have a very tough time on the safe lane Ember, so eyes definitely on him to see what he's going to be able to do this time round. As top lane, attempt to go on to FNG. Nico Baby's going to jump over towards Saxa. FNG will go down. Can Nico Baby get the trade kill? Yeah, he'll be able to do all the Fairy Fire. Indeed, he wasn't quite ready for that. Did start to back off, and that's going to cost him the opportunity to finish that kill off, as Nico Baby won't be able to find him in return. Around the mid, Hanskin sweeps in, able to secure this arcane rune for Limp. A very juicy bottle refill for him as well. And the Thompson would have, he's going to miss out on a lot here as Thompson low on the mana front too. And bottom, yeah, I'm just consistently seeing mid one just being unable to really step up to the wave here.
Look at his build. for Ricky. That shows he knows he has absolutely no aggression potential here, as he is meant to weather this Timbersaw storm. The problem I have with this tiny last pick is that against Timber, if your carry can't naturally stay in lane against it and defend the tower, that usually you have like a mid laner like Ember or something that's gonna go bottom and just push the wave, distract the Timbersaw as much as possible. I don't really know who that is for OG. I don't know who they bring down here to stall the Timbersaw's early momentum pushes with the catapults. As the thing that is Timbersaw is so nice here is he flourishes against carries that have to stay in lane. If you're a carry that can kind of just dip out and go jungle, Timbersaw loses a lot of his early effectiveness in terms of shutting down the opponent carry, but Ricky has no backup plan.
Mid lane. Getting in onto Topson, but Hansken off the mark there with the stun. Topson able to do a good job of juking it. Turns around to looks to kill off Hansken, but the Remnant's out. Protective disruption there from No-Tail. His poison won't kill Hansken, and Topson does end up going down at the end of it all.
Yeah, you were mentioning he was struggling for mana, and he was 5 mana short of the Avalanche.
Look at this chase here from Limp. Another beautifully placed Remnant. I mean, really getting the work done there with that Arcane Rune. 2 kills for Limp in the mid.
Yeah, this patch can be rather toxic with these early lineups with heroes like Timbersaw and Nyx, where you just can't deal with them. And it makes your whole entire game awkward because that movement mid is allowed to happen because Nyx is just not needed at all bottom. And the snowball effect is insane how quickly it comes into play. S4 is going to certainly be looking to apply a lot of pressure with this catapult. Bottom lane, he is level 6 as well, so that amps up his damage and aggression to threaten anybody who defends. Really interested to see what OG does about this.
See, in the jungle, Hansken and FNG starting to evade. A lot of damage onto it, No-Tail here, but able to make his way around the tree and body block. But yeah, as you say, it's definitely going to be a question of how on earth did they get these items onto Ricky. Like, can mid one go elsewhere on the map? As you said, he can't really hit the jungle creeps. Top lane, we'll see Topson coming in with the rotation onto Nico, baby, but he had pretty much a full wand. He's going to be off and into the trees, and they can't hunt any further for him. So this move not going to be successful here from the two of them as Nico Baby's able to sneak himself away. And yeah, this is just time wasted here for OG.
Really good itemization from Nico Baby, having the wand raindrops to be able to survive through that anticipated tiny burst.
On mid. Mid one having to be very cautious there. He gets caught by that Remnant. He'd be dead for sure.
Bottom tower's already dead, by the way. I didn't even notice that. 7 minutes.
Yeah, he just finished it off. I mean, this is, yeah, that bottom lane. I mean, it pretty much what went as you would sort of expect it to do, right? You've got this Ricky lane. They're never going to be able to hold off this Timber's early pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see anything that OG's entire lineup could do to stop him. S4 now going to play his own dead lane, making sure that there's no tower pressure up top coming out from OG. This is a really nice way to enable heroes like PA. They want to sit taking the safest farm on the map, chilling bottom. Yeah, Tiny's going to take over bottom. I guess I expected Ricky to stay bottom, but he's going to be jungling a small camp around mid. I don't know. It's not like a flame. I don't think there's much a better option for mid one. That just does not feel good what the game looks like.
I mean, I guess at this sort of stage, what for OG, the real pressure is going to be on Topson and Step to just make moves and keep the game going to allow mid one to get the time to get his farm.
Yeah, I love what Topson's doing here. He knows he can't really kill Nico Baby, but he knows Nico Baby can't really mess with him. So he's just being annoying.
Look at that.
Well, they're going to bring in a pair of hands here to try and have a go on to Topson. Hansken joining to try and push Topson back. But as you say, Topson still very much knowing his strength. See Top trying to get aggressive on S4, but yeah, he's not really under any pressure at all. In fact, Step might be forced to get out of here as he has to TP away from S4. As it really does seem at the moment nothing they can do about this. Timber Limp comes in from the side with the DD ready to go, blows up Saxa, and the pressure will be onto another tier 1 tower. So not only S4's presence and laning down bottom allowing them to get that very early tier 1 tower taken from the safe lane of now moving up to this top lane. He's sort of pushed them out of this area of the map, and he's getting pressure onto a second tier 1 already at 9 minutes in.
Top tower is under attack.
Whenever I watch teams like OG, I feel like I'm watching 5D chess, where I don't fully understand how they intend to win this game. And right now, if they win this game, at this very moment, I have no idea how that's going to happen. And I know it doesn't seem like they're down by that much, but PA is getting way better farm than the Riki, and Timbersaw. I guess PA is only ahead by 100 gold. Wow, what? I just tuned into the network. Huh. Never mind. Maybe I'm mistaken here.
FNG.
I just see all this stuff and I'm like, PA's farming bottom. Timbersaw's #1 on the net worth. Void Spirit's game's perfectly fine. Like, all 3 cores on Alliance are perfectly happy. You'd rather have the good start on Timber than PA, because Timber's the one that's making space. So, man, OG, I feel like they just neglected to respond to Timber, which is a hero, in my opinion at least, requires a response. They look to invade or kill Nico Baby bottom, but he's Spidey senses are tingling here.
He's gonna stick at least around the tier 1. He's got FNG to back him up.
Radiant's top tower
and do you like this from Nico Baby? He's got the Desto queued up, so not going for the Battle Fury. I guess going for something that's going to allow him to play in a way that will really punish this whole time, where mid 1, he knows mid 1 has to get the Battle Fury on the Riki, and he's going to be able to be so active before mid 1 has his core items to fight with.
I don't know how much I like this or not.
Mid limb. Bringing on to Staxer.
Radiant's top tower.
So you see that OG's electing to just play completely away from the Timbersaw, ignore him, but that's costing them all their tier 1s, because wherever S4 walks, bottom first, then top, now mid. Thompson's trying to make as much space and action happen as possible in the other lanes, but does killing a Nature's Prophet really matter all that much as Limb TP's in?
I mean, definitely not. If it costs Thompson his life. Remnant's going to be off the mark. Hanskin impales down. Thompson's going to get burst out. Except he's out with the TP. Have they got anything to stop it? They haven't. But as you say, Thompson with the aggression, sure, he gets the profit, but he loses his life.
I would say space from Thompson and Seb, but I don't really know space is what for, you know? I like this TP on from FMG to the high ground. This is one of the cute things you can do on Nature's Prophet support. You can do it on core too, but you got nothing else to do when you're support. He is only level 4, so he's basically just a ward for his team at this point.
And S4 still very much seemingly in unkillable territory. I mean, does it ever sort of, when are they going to be able to kill this Timbersaw this game?
It looks like Seb has gone Brown Boots Spirit Vessel, so that's the timing they're looking for. But they didn't get any new charges bottom after using it to be aggressive on FNG there because he died too far away from the brew. S4, if they can hit this window where they get a Spirit Vessel charge before this Yules comes out, that I think is the narrow window they will have to hit. S4 is going to single-handedly take mid tower while it takes a 4-man commitment from OG in order to get the trade.
Radiant's middle tower is fallen.
Thompson. Well, he's got to probably TP out immediately here.
Dire's top
if he wants to live, he's going to start making his way out, and he's out in time.
It's good space.
Yeah.
When you're a mid and you have a hero like Riki that just has to farm all the good farm, all the nice safe farm, and he's got no other options, you have to get creative. You have to take some super dangerous farm, force the enemy team to come respond to you without dying, and that's exactly what Thompson's doing here. The overwhelming blink.
Yeah, we'll see if he follows up on that. That'll be a pretty wild first item rush, the complete overwhelming blink. So the haste rune's going to be grabbed up by S4. I mean, S4 could look to run down Thompson here with that. It'll be held back by the disruption. Dagger out attacks him, but Limp falls. Got the Bruce split out and that extra bit of control to keep S4 held in place with the Wimpan. Comes back down though. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything aggressive onto S4. They've got to start running away from it. He's still got the remainder of that haste going. They'll try with the combo and the Spirit Vessel. That might just do it. He's out to the side with the Timber Chain, but the Spirit Vessel allows them to get the kill. Mid-1 in with a finishing hit.
Oddly enough, they had to wait till the Brewmaster ulti ended because he still gets the Spirit Vessel charges while he's in Brew Split, but he can't use it until he comes out. So that was really well played by OG. That's step one. The thing about this Nico Baby item choice is that there's two ways you can go. You can try to capitalize on the fact that Ricky's not able to fight by going the Deso like he is, or you can just capitalize on the fact that he's going to be passively farming too, and you outscale him, so you just go for the passive farm route. And he's choosing the former. I feel like in NA, they always choose the latter, so I don't exactly know how this one's going to play out.
So, I know Hansken was sneaking around there with all the sentries they had set up.
Look at that.
They come in, drop the...
15-minute Battle Fury for mid one. Honestly, pretty damn good, all things considered. Really bad lane. Ricky has no farming steroid to enable him to get that sooner, like Jug-type heroes and Troll-type heroes do.
No, I mean, absolutely, considering the start he had. And as you say now, when you see mid-1 actually being still able to achieve this sort of Battle Fury timing, does that makes you a bit worried, a bit more worried for the build that Nico Baby's going in return?
It just means that they have to get a lot done with the Deso and the timing they hit. They can't be content with the status quo of both teams farming at this point, because Ricky will just be much happier with the items he's bought compared to the PA.
Top, notes out. Gonna find the setup onto Limp, but just set by his side. Tops are starting to move in as well. Alliance, they are beginning to set up in the jungle. Actually, Limp maybe seeing if he can get the connection onto Seb. Seb, no split available, he's out of mana, and he's out of life.
Prophet ulti.
Let's see if they can get anything more out of this. Demonic Purge slowing down Limp for now. Over to the side, Saxon. He's trying to get out, and he'll make it away. No TP cancel there between the two of them. Same to be said, as those surrounding Notel can't put a stop to his escape either. So, I mean, I'm definitely very intrigued to see if Thompson does indeed do this. I mean, it's not a lot of times you see the full blink, well, pretty much no time, where you see a hero that wants to rush the completed blink upgrade as their pretty much first and only major item.
There's one player in the world that'll do it. It's probably Thompson.
I mean,
it's almost got that Ags.
Yeah.
1,200 gold off. That's really important against Ricky specifically. Heavily reliant upon spellcasting to survive. They missed the dust bottom. Narrowly missed.
Yeah, very close there. Mid-1 just able to jump outside of the range of it. And still, as every moment passes, Mid-1 getting that little bit further ahead of Nico Baby's farm on the PA. They've got to get some action done with this Deso.
Suddenly, I'm really liking what OG's doing here. That tends to be how it goes when I'm watching OG in drafts where it doesn't really make sense to me what they were doing. They just killed the Timbersaw once. Suddenly, the momentum on the map, it's palpable. You can feel that's kind of gone. They've taken all the tier 1s, and now what? Oh, the Sentry flipped the Nyx a bit, but he walked out of it. I was wondering what he's doing there.
I mean, and you definitely seem right. It seems that, you know, I mean, what do Alliance go for here? I mean, all the tier 1s taken off the map. Like, what is the next move? Are you trying to make smoke moves with this PA and the Deso? You know, who are you trying to hunt down?
That's why I'm really surprised. I'm gonna... Okay, I'll wait for the
they're gonna try and get the jump in, but again, stacks up. That stolen spike Carapace stopping the initial burst from Alliance. And now Saxon maybe even trying to see if they can get the setup with the turnaround. Disruption used, but already Nico Baby finds himself his first target. He's in onto No-Tail. Now a turn over towards Thompson. In he goes, they'll get the two of them. Saxon trying to fight with the help of Seb in his primal split. Nico Baby's going to end up going down as Mid-1 gets the kill. Nico Baby's dead. Hansken also falling. As, you know, now FNG is in it. As Midbon and Step, they're going to look for him. FNG going for the TP out, but they got the stun. FNG going down. Is that all? And we'll see S4. I mean, I don't think the three of them will be able to do anything about him. Yeah, S4's going to be able to step away. But this has got to be a big concern, right, for Alliance, Brian, is, you know, this is fights where your PA has got a Desto, an item to fight with, but you're losing to the team that has the Riki with the Battle Fury. Midbon's getting more out of these fights than Nico Baby is.
Yeah, my honest interpretation, and this is with the presumption that I'm 100% willing to be wrong, is that I see them take all these tier 1s, and I look at the map right now, and I'm not really sure what Alliance can do objective-wise, like to further their map advantage. And by going this Desolator, you're pretty much saying that's what you want to do. If you want to go continue to force the issue, while if you had just gone Battle Fury, you would be content trading farm because PA scales better than Ricky. So I'm really skeptical of Nico Baby's plan of this game, and just like I was skeptical of what OG was doing earlier, I'm now skeptical of what his vision of this game is.
Top, they will manage to get the kill on the Seb. Midbon finds FNG though. Midbon and Thompson, they're seeing if they can get back in on this. Stops them. Controlled by the Yules, and Alliance completely splitting. Midbon won't be able to find any kills, but again, just finding the space to continue to get his ags done, and it's pretty much there. So again, just all things said and done, when you look at the lane that Midbon was given at the start, the beginning he was having, 20 minutes in, he's got his ags Battle Fury. This is brilliant timing for the Riki.
So what skipping the Battle Fury does for Nico Baby is that usually you go Battle Fury, Deso, BKB. But now since he's removed the Battle Fury, his BKB timing will be a bit earlier than it would otherwise have been. So the fact that it's going to have maybe like a minute or two earlier BKB, but his later timings will be delayed, it just means that they really have to hit that timing hard. That's what I'm looking for. I always go in the assumption that these players know more than I do about this scenario, so I expect that's what he's probably going to be looking for. As OG wants to get mid-tier 1, as Limp falling out as best he can.
See how much Alliance can do to slow down this push. S4 standing forward, but immediately the vessel's down onto him into the follow-up combo. He's caught in the smoke screen. We're going to see him try and jump over towards the squishies. He's looking for the Shadow Demon. He'll get it. Big crit comes out from Nico Baby as No Tail falls. S4 still alive, chains himself away. The vessel continued to tick him down though. Thompson in with the chase. Another burst combo takes out S4. The damage from the tricks of the trade sets up for another as Midbon gets the kill. And now Nico Baby, he's isolated alone. The Stolen Dissimulate from Saxon, giving him the ability to dodge to the side, keep himself away from the PA. PA getting controlled by Thompson and Seb as there's another dead. S4's brought back here in an attempt to turn this fight around, but he's just alone. The vessel down upon him. Another cloud put in place as S4. He's got to be careful. He brought back for this. He's trying to get out of the sky with a tipping chain, but Thompson blinks in again. It's a dieback on S4 here at 22 minutes. And the numbers, it's 14 to 14, less than 1k in. But you really can't help but feel that Alliance is really losing any sort of momentum this game. And the Midbon's Riki is going to become a big, big problem.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
When I say PA scales better than Riki, that's assuming they both have the same farm. One is 3,000 net worth ahead already, and he went Battle Fury Ags. Kills creep waves instantly, as you see top here. He just pushes his third spell, and boom, they're dead. On the other hand, PA, he's being forced to fight. He has a fighting build. He's died twice ever since buying it. I legit think this could just be a misread from Nico Baby. I think OG is punishing this, like, sense that Alliance had that they could continue forcing the issue. They were being aggressive with the Timbersaw when they had Spirit Vessel but no Yules, and now they're trying to fight in a time that it appears was too early for PA to be able to fight here. Because even though he went for these fighting items, he's kind of just died to the tiny, overwhelming damage and the control coming out from the Brewmaster. Spirit Vessel owning. Yeah. It's pretty sick from Seb. I really do think like OG had to play this near flawlessly to punish what Alliance is doing here, so it's more impressive to me what OG is doing than it is you know, the shortcomings of what Alliance has had happen recently.
Now we're gonna have OG entering into the pit. Will be scanned out by Alliance. See if they're gonna be able to try and put up a fight to push OG off this objective. We have Seb, and Seb just 100 gold away from having Aghanims himself. And it looks like even with the scan Alliance, they're not looking to do anything about this. They don't feel confident of taking a fight around the pit in this moment where Nico Baby's still a few hundred gold off the BKB. So OG, they're going to be able to get this one for free.
Are scanning. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
I think one of the hardest things to do in Dota is to accept that you can't do anything about what the other team has. And I think what the secret to OG's success this game was to accept that they could absolutely do nothing about the Timber Saw. So for so long in the game as Zeb dies to the Limp Solo plus the Nature's Prophet ulti. And I don't know if you've checked it out, Owen, but have you looked at Thompson's item queue?
Yeah, he's nearly got it, dude.
Yeah, he's committing.
He is committing. It wasn't a meme. It's, as you said, if any player's going to do it, if anyone's going to rush the straight upgraded Blink, it would be Thompson. I mean, what do you think about it? I mean, it's going to add a lot of damage to his combo, right? And it's going to be something else that's going to be very hard for Alliance to run away from when he's in with that slide.
I think it's just all about the control. Keep people in the Ricky's grid as well.
No, that's true. Yeah, very true. And bottom lane, I mean, S4, after what was such a solid start with the way that he was able to play around the map, get the tier ones as early as he did with the pressure, his game has just taken a massive hit at this stage.
Yeah, Timbersaw, he's feast or famine. He's either unkillable or he's a pinata because he's used to be unkillable and now you just feed off of the candy inside. I look at this overwhelming blink from Tiny, and I actually ask myself, what would be like a better item? What does Tiny need to do his job in this game? I can't really think of anything. He's just going to be a blink combo anyway, so might as well make that blink combo that much more potent as it's now an AoE slow, and it also does, at this point, about 340 damage. Blinks in.
That's a fair amount. And then, of course, adding into the extra bit of damage he's going to have with the punch, thanks to the strength and that general tankiness. I mean, it all checks out. A very nice hero to get this item on. And yeah, the slow, as you say, I mean, it's a very strong slow. 6 seconds slow. 50% movement speed. Mid lane, Thompson coming in onto the two of them. As you can see, Hansken, he's going to really struggle to run away from this sort of initiation now. Anytime that Thompson's in with the overwhelming blink, you cannot run.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bottom. Saxa. That will be a free kill here for the side of Alliance. While I say that, Thompson's going to come in with the counter play. Nico Baby has to put the BKB and run away. First charge down, and he's having to use it to retreat. S4 has been found in the trees. He's trying to get his way out of there, but there's just so much damage. And now Midland with the full Daedalus at 27 minutes in. He's ready to start kicking out those 1K crits.
Yeah, this is when Ricky looks absolutely disgustingly broken. When he's this far ahead with these items against these fragile heroes coming out from Alliance. A really high win rate against Nyx and Pubs, by the way, guys, if you're having some trouble with Nyx. Really hard to stun somebody who's invulnerable during the damage that they deal.
See if they can get in there once. I don't think they're going to be trying it for it a second time, though, right now.
That's probably the last time Mid One hits a building this game. Probably what he realizes there. Kind of the nature of Ricky. The hero's kit is all about the informational advantage that he gains by being invisible and then being able to jump you. So that is very counterintuitive to hitting buildings. But he had the Aegis there, so it's not like he lost anything major. Back to farming.
Very juicy rune as well there up the river. DD, if they're able to go and pick it up. And looking for the setup here onto Midbomb. They've got the trap with the Remnant, but a nice save here from No-Tail with the disruption. The follow-up is there from Hansken, that comes in with the stun, and there's crits are there this time in the hands of Nico Baby as they take down Midbomb. See what more they can get from this Nico Baby over towards Saxa. They'll get a second. Alliance, can they get more from this? They're trying to chase down Seb. He comes out of the split. Carapace is out though. Nico Baby's ready to jump over, and finally Alliance able to get the team fight in the way that they hoped for. Enabling Nico Baby, allowing him to go from target to target, and starting things off by taking down that Ricky.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. There's no way you're farming your way back into this game for Alliance. Really good move by them. I love watching it. Like I said, I'm skeptical of what the PA's items were in terms of the timing.
but this is exactly what they flourish at, and despite being down, they have identified exactly what they need to do to win this game, and I always trust they know better. So I love to watch it. I love the fact that FNG is going these nice enabling items. He's basically giving his PA extra net worth. He's got drums, he's got a solar, he's going a soul cuirass after that. This is just effectively giving Nico Baby an item or two. It comes to that carry to carry matchup as the game goes on, that can definitely tilt the balance in Nico Baby's favor, even if Ricky is higher net worth.
And yeah, a fan of this was seeing it first time this patch as well. You know, No-Tail getting the bots nice and early on his Shadow Demon.
Of course, yeah. Just normal
just
Boots
OG
of Travel Shadow Demon timing, yeah. I think Boots of Travel can offer so many things to different heroes. One of which can be like split pushing away from your team. I think in the case of Shadow Demon, it's that he can show up to fights and ganks because he's like that crucial +1 to offer that extra damage. I think that's what he's going for here.
Thompson. He trips up. They've got to be cautious though. Thompson has this DD ready to go for the next jump. He's going to pop it now. Alliance, they want to try and fight into this Seb. The split. As Alliance themselves to separate. We're going to see the jump on a No-Tail. No-Tail has to buy back. They instantly take him down with a big crit. Seb has the control onto Lim. See Nico Baby focusing down Thompson with his BKB up. He's getting the work done. A second kill for Nico Baby. The BKB does now come to an end though, so he has to be careful of the chase here, but he's out with a blink. Off to the side. OG try and turn their efforts towards S4, but he's underneath the tier 2. Actually thinking about chasing back in on this. Dust still out onto mid.
Mana burn stolen. That's super annoying for us. You gotta love the entering the carries mindset from mid one. He had the Aegis and he queued up the butterfly, dies with the Aegis, then dies afterwards, and suddenly the BKB. Well, it looks like I'm gonna need one of those. We've all been there, I'm sure. Do you usually buy BKB after your third Battle Fury, Owen, or when do you usually go for it?
I usually buy it in the next game.
Oh, of course, of course.
You can see a little bit of the old rat-a-tat-tat here from FNG. Instantly put to a stop.
I also think what No-Tail is doing with the Boots of Travel is that somebody at all stages of the game is going to have to deal with this annoying split push. And honestly, nobody else really wants to. Tiny wants to be ganking. Ricky wants to be farming while looking to be the +1. Brewmaster's the frontline team fight. So he's probably the best candidate. Probably enough.
Oh. That's 4. Getting aggressive here by the tower, looking to take out No-Tail. OG's there with a response. They lose No-Tail, but mid-1, he's found the setup straight in onto FNG with a trick for trade. He gets the crit, takes down the Prophet. See what more they can look for. Limp committing with the BKB. He's got the catch onto the Ricky. Nico Baby's there with a follow-up. Another crit in as Nico Baby takes down mid-1. I mean, mid-1's down for 80 seconds. Alliance, they are pulling these fights out effortlessly now. Despite this period of the game where mid-1's farm was starting to get ahead, they're controlling and killing the Ricky. This is a huge amount of time. Ricky's out of the game. Alliance is going to be able to put a huge amount of pressure onto the base. Stops them. He's trying to slow them down. I mean, they'll just start moving over towards it. The stun's on him. Nico Baby's in with a follow-up. Thompson's dead. No buyback on him either. I mean, all the tier 2s have been taken. They've got a lot of space, Alliance, to at least take one set of racks. And maybe even more with the fact that these buybacks aren't up.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Yeah, this is, I always say I'm either right or I'm learning. And I'm learning a lot this week.
Yeah, this is just... You know, it's clear now that this is the plan that Alliance had all along.
Yeah.
They were just playing for this 30 minutes, group up and go. It didn't matter if farm was going to be there on mid-1. They felt confident in the initiation. We've seen pretty much each time, you know, Limp and Hansken, they've been getting that opening onto Ricky, whether it be the Remnant or the Impale, and it's just ruined mid-1's game. It's been irrelevant how much farm he's had on him because they're just blowing him up throughout the durations of the stuns that they have.
Yeah, it might be a bit of overconfidence from mid-1 to go for the Daedalus before BKB, maybe like casual Crystallis before BKB. There's so many small mistakes that you can make in the game of Dota, and sometimes they just snowball into oblivion, as he's probably needed a BKB for the last 2 or 3 team fights now. As you said, Alliance has chain stunned him perfectly with the Ag's Void Spirit as well as the Impale from the Nyx, and PA represents the damage you need to kill him, and that's why this matchup's so good for PA. And you end up taking the blur evasion on Nico Baby, so Ricky literally doesn't touch you. He's got 80% evasion.
With this smoke move, they can catch one of the big boys, maybe find Thompson. They do. There's the opening. Nico Baby getting the bash straight up. The follow-up's there. Thompson, he needs help. Is he going to get in time? No, they're all bailing on him. They can't save Thompson. As out for 80 seconds. Again, Alliance just blowing this game wide open now. 7K lead for them. DD Rune popped on Nico Baby. He can really start to continue to keep this pressure on. I mean, they're smoked up on OG. But I don't think they're going to be scared of too much. They'll look to take the Roche with this DD, heading over to the pit. But OG, I mean, they've just taken huge hits now in the last 5 minutes of play. And I think they're going to be pretty shaken up by all of this.
I think they have to get an MKB or a Rapier on mid one. It looks like they're going to elect to actually just contest the Aegis. Kill him die so quickly, though.
They've got to get it. I don't think they're going to be able to get it soon enough. The damage from Nico Baby. He's taking it down too quickly, and he's got it. There's the kill. There's the Aegis. They're outside of the pit. They do lose Limb. Instant burst combo comes into play. Hanskin though with a beautiful stun onto the two of them. The setups there onto No Tail. Stolen Impale thrown back here. Will cause the death of Hanskin. See what Nico Baby can do with the cleanup. He's jumping over. He's been able to find the first target. No Tail. Now he turns over towards Midbon. Midbon popping the BKB, but he's having to run with this BKB. He's trying to get out of here. Seb comes to a finish with the split. Remnant out, controlling him. Midbon's trying to jump back in with the tricks. The trade. Has he got enough damage to kill Nico Baby? Nico Baby getting low, but the BKB is still good to go. As they've got a backup, they can't even kill Nico Baby the once hit. I think they have to get back into position to protect their axe.
Yeah, they're just super durable on Alliance's side. All that blur evasion, the temper saw, and FMG doing exactly what Nature's Prophet does best. It's even better when it's just a 5 position. You do the same thing as a core Nature's Prophet would, maybe a bit slower, but every fight they're on a timer on the side of OG. And this is just kind of Ricky. The nature of snowballing heroes, man. You either kill everybody in 1 second, or they end up being durable enough to not die at all. He is queuing up the Rapier. He knows
he needs it.
They're out this game.
Yeah. Especially with this AC Solar Crest build from FNG. It's, perfect to have alongside this PA. And a PA now with the Ags complete. So it's going to be even harder to control in these fights.
Yeah, PA is always also good against Ricky because Ricky feasts the information game. He wants to jump you, and the Ags, Nico Baby shows he truly understands this matchup. It's obviously an enemy you can buy anyway, but...
He's going in on S4. There's a lot of backup here for S4. Midbon, he's got to get on the retreat. Thompson's having to get into the combo onto the two of them. As he's found Limp, but Limp pops the cheese BKBs up. He's going to be fine. Silence onto Nico Baby. Nico Baby trying to run. The stun's there from the Brew. Can Step finish him the once? He can't. Nico Baby's still fine and good to go. Midbon has to use the BKB to retreat. Big stun comes out. They burst through the Aegis of Nico Baby. They'll also find the life of Hanskin. Can they kill Nico Baby a second time? As he's standing to the side, still has the backup of Limp, FNG, and S4. Alliance.
So has BKB.
They still seem happy to go in on this Limp. Starting things on to Thompson. Nico Baby looking for the perfect time to jump in. He still watches from the side.
No buyback on him.
Burst through Limp. That is Limp down for 100 seconds. Now Nico Baby looks to commit. In onto Seb. That's going to be the Brew down. Now popping the BKB. Turns on towards Thompson. A buyback comes out for Seb, but he cannot get in position to save Thompson in time as Thompson is down. They have caught S4 on the high ground as S4 not quite able to make it back out as easily as Nico Baby did. So S4 will get left behind here. Chase from Saxa, finding further setup onto FNG as OG look to try and get as much as they can off this defense, but they won't be able to stop the TP out. As the Prophet's away and Nico Baby's back in!
The sentry on
he
Hydra.
finds the Ricky! Saxa's got a ghost step to save himself. But Nico Baby just weaving perfectly in and out of these fights. As he's just in again. He is diving into tier 4s. They do have the stun control. He's 20-second cooldown on the BKB. All right, I mean, I guess weaving perfectly in and out of the fights until then. And they have indeed got what they came for. I don't think he's going to be too fussed with being dead for 90 seconds. He may not have buyback, but how much can OG do about this? Up against the Mega Creeps here at 39 minutes. Alliance, they're definitely tasting the victory here in this game. It feels very close to them if they can keep this up for one more fight and just push OG over the edge.
It was so crucial that Mid One survived that fight. His buyback here cost him so much time on his rapier, because I thought that was going to be the hardest hold for OG to get past. But the only reason that it was going to be the hardest one was because if Mid One survives, he'll have a rapier for the next one. And that is their timing for OG. They have to somehow keep this game going for long enough to make that happen. This game has been wild back and forth. Every single time I think one team's favored to win the game, the other team seems to take the reins. So I almost have to believe at this stage that I would favor OG based on my interpretation of this game so far.
I mean, OG's definitely got to do something pretty wild to come back into this one right now.
Is under attack.
So they're on the probability 6% here for OG, 94 for Alliance, considering how well Alliance has done here in all of these fights, and how well Nico Baby's just popped off with this build, and in a way that, you know, regardless of the farm that Mid One had early on, Mid One's still very much a vulnerability. If one of these carries gets caught out, it could be pretty much game for each team. As up top, Thompson, he's caught out alone. And again, no buyback, still just a little short on the gold. 40 gold short of the buyback here, Thompson Alliance. They're going to try and chase for more. S4 leading in. Pokes out a response from Mid One. Mid One actually jumping over to the small creeps. Nico Baby's prepared with the dust. Mid One trying to hide in the trees, jumps over the cliff here with the tricks of the trade. He'll be able to get out of there. There'll be a buyback from Saxer. Seb committing with the split. So Seb can chase down. He's trying to go on to S4, but with the hood and the bloodstone, S4's fine. Bottom lane, FNG going for a bit of split pressure. OG, they'll be able to punish it. As FNG caught on his own, they'll find themselves the kill.
Such a tall ask for OG here. They have to push lanes against Nature's Prophet, Megas, and the pickoff potential of an Axe PA and a Nixon set. They quickly are wrangled back into their base here.
See Mid One trying to start the action here with Seb. That's Limp. Oh, he's straight in onto the back line. He's found the catch on the Stax, so he's able to burst him down low, but the save comes in. The disruption gives Stax a bit of time, but Hanskin has the impale to follow it up. They've caught Limp. Limp is dead, though. Damage is enough here from Midbot. And into the trees, they'll find Hanskin as well. The cloud is down. Hanskin, has he got any means of escape? He's trying. He's running through the trees, but they're on top of him once more. The tricks of trade will do it.
1,300 gold for that rapier.
He's closing on it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do get that gem under their control. I mean, once he has the rapier, I mean, how hard is it going to be for Alliance to push into it? Like, do OG realistically have this chance to swing this game around with that rapier?
The big thing is that PA and BKB right now is invincible, but once he gets the rapier, that's not the case anymore. So it'll affect a lot about PA's ability to actually dish out damage in the fight, because Nico Baby will have to be much more selective about when he goes in. And yeah, I don't really know how OG consistently gets out on the map unless they kill heroes. So if Alliance doesn't really fight into them, I don't know how they get out, but I also don't know how Alliance goes high ground now, unless they kill OG. Definitely a matter of who can get the initiation onto who around the map. As Ricky, as he scales into the game,
Dire's middle tower
becomes so obnoxious to deal with because you just can't see him. And suddenly you're dead. As he now hits for almost 600 damage, ignoring backstab.
All right. I mean, they're up against the Megas, OG.
And he's got ninja gear. That's actually even more annoying. God, this game would be so annoying to play. You're dealing with an Axe PA, split pushing Nature's Prophet with ninja gear, and a Ricky with a rapier. I don't know. Very enjoyable to watch, but I don't envy the people that have to play against this.
No, this is certainly a good one. As Alliance, you know, the fact that they have these Megas, they seem on the verge of victory, but it's only 5k between them, and this Ricky with the rapier is it could definitely be a problem. It's going to be all down to the execution right now. Nice.
Toxin can get that level 25. 3 toss charges would.
OG this time around could give Alliance a pretty formidable fight around the pit, and Alliance know it. They're a little cautious on how they commit for this.
Are scanning.
They know that OG's going to come in and try and make the jump. And there it is. Actually, it's going to be Lim starting things off. He looks to commit in with the BKB. They're able to catch out, take down Stack. Spike Carapace set up onto Seb with CS4 running towards the backlines, trying to split OG apart. Thompson comes in with a combo by mid one, jumps over. The BKB coming out from Nico Baby as Nico Baby's out of the tricks of the trade. He's on the retreat. Mid one's looking for a target. He chases down to get in. Somebody plays down onto the PA, and they've got the damage with this rapier. Mid one claims the double kill. See what S4 could do to put a stop to this. Mid one's actually keeping out. He's got to defend the base. He has to get back to the tier 4s. Seb's getting run down by S4. Can Seb get himself away from this? Another Yule's up. Fine time for Limp to close the gap. In with the remnants. Seb down for 2 minutes. Mid one's out on the map. He's got the silence onto Limp. Limp getting taken out. The crits come into play. Mid one gets the kill. Limp flying back immediately. Nico Baby in with the bash control, but Mid one's still got the BKB good to go. The Avalanche dropped down. On the chase. He's over towards S4. S4 chaining out to the side. Another jump with the trick to the trade. That's PA down and out. A dieback on Nico Baby. Mid one just tearing them apart here with the rapier.
Out their base. Oh god! Don't tell this solo kill. FNG.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Brian, there's 2 heroes down for 2 minutes. How much can OG get done with this?
I don't know if they can get anything done. That's the thing. It's like, how do you even get out of your base?
Dude.
I guess Nature's Prophet is dead now, but you're still dealing with Nyx, so nobody can go alone.
I mean,
anybody is susceptible.
Brian.
Mid one actually elects to carry the gem. Okay, never mind. He drops. I was curious if he was going to hold on to that.
And yeah, Mid one, talk about big brain stuff. Do you like this? Queuing up an arcane blink, so he's got that extra spam ability on his spells.
Yeah, it's not just the spam ability. It's also the reach you have.
Yeah.
You're able to follow up your Thompson combo from a much further distance. We've seen it before. I think in China region they go for this arcane blink. I think it was. I can't even remember who did it first, but Ame was doing it. It's pretty cool. It also lowers the cast point on tricks of the trade, which can sometimes be the difference maker when you're dealing with stuns and burst damage from Nyx.
Now OG, they're over to the pit.
They have Ags on Shatter Demon as well.
Yeah.
So suddenly that break that the panel was talking about during the draft is coming into play. I think there's a lot against PA too. I mean, Nico Baby's gonna struggle in these fights. Rapier for the damage threat and the Rape for the inability for him to deal damage.
I mean, they've got to find Mid one right. If you don't catch this Ricky at the start of the fights, Mid one's just going to clean up every single time. And as we've seen,
find the invisible guy, you know?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, as you said, you mentioned earlier, obviously OG, it's not necessarily easy for them to find the PA, but definitely even more difficult for Alliance to find the Ricky. As long as Mid one's able to keep himself to the side and be truly confident in his whereabouts of Alliance's hero's positioning before he commits in. They're going for the Roche. Alliance are all back up. They're going to take this Roche down pretty quickly with that rapier damage.
It has to be quick because the lanes are pushing in.
Except just scouting things out with the Wind Panda. Able to hold people back as well. OG, they're going to be able to get this cleaned up. Who's taking what? Thompson? He's going to take the axe. As now they're chased in. They've put the catch on the S4. Limp jumping in with the BKB, trying to help out. Can they burst him out? The base is dying, though. Tier 4s are falling. If Alliance could just sort of keep OG out and distracted, the Treants might just do it. The first tier 4 down, the second tier 4 down as well. As OG, they may be getting the kills, but they've got to get back. FNG's in, he's looking to close this round. The Treants are doing it. FNG's going to be around the game. He's got it. Surely Thompson is trying to hold them off, but the creeps, they've finished it. Alliance will win the game. I mean, Alliance. I mean, it wouldn't be any other team on a sort of victory like that at the end. I mean, they played it the smart. I mean, again, we've seen it so many times, really. This New Age Alliance with FNG and his Prophet, you've got to be ready for that. FNG's always going to look for that avenue to close